Today I was going to give you a little insight into how we create our calendars that we send out as Christmas presents. And this might help you. I hope so. We're using Snapfish. And we go to calendars and we do wall calendars, 8.5 by 11. We found that's a really good size. The other ones get a little on the big size. You can start with something that they have as far as the template goes, or you can design your own. And if you do that, you just verify your sizes. Start with January 2026 in this case. Make this calendar and go forward. And this will bring you to the interface. The interface is fairly straightforward. I like it. It's a lot of fun. One of the first things that you're going to do is you're going to import photos. So you're going to gather together your photos someplace on your computer. We gather the pictures throughout the year. Let me show you what that looks like. So I have folders for all the years, and you can go to 2025, and you can see folders for events, and then one for calendar. And inside the calendar folder is a copy, not the original, but a copy of a picture that we took that we wanted to use specifically for the calendar, something to share with someone. And then they're all together, and then it makes it easy for uploading. So once you have them all hemmed up, you can go in and you can upload a series or a large contingent of photos. So here are some, and I'll just pick one. You can drag and drop. So I could drag it from this interface. And it'll go in that way. Or you can search. I don't know what that picture is. And you can select multiples and then open and then done. So for this one, I'm not going to import this because I already have some done. So we'll stop. And I already have a template open. And I've imported, these are images that I'm using so far. And it starts off as a blank slate, and you can view the months in its entirety, or you can look at just the top or just the date portion of the calendar. I apologize, the camera's up there, but I'm working over here. Let's see, I'll just take this guy and I'll drag him out onto the cover. Now from there we can look at just the top bottom and go to the top, and then we can move this thing around. We can edit. And from the edit, you can do enhance, but most of the enhancements done automatically once you upload the pictures. You can also crop. So if I wanted to make room for this guy, I like the wood texture. Let's go like that. And then done editing. And now the picture's there. Now I want it larger. Literally just stretch it out. There are borders around the image. If you watch the edge of the image as I drag this over, you'll see that it goes all the way up to the edge, and that little pink line shows you that it's aligned to the edge or to another photo. But here's the kicker. When you go toward the spine, which has got the spiral on it, you don't have one of those, and you can see that it kind of hides behind right about there. So if I align to the left, then bump up to the top, and you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard. So if I go up, you can see that it starts to go beyond into the spirals, and then if I nudge down, that's about where it's going to stay. So I'll leave that one there. And you can do this repeatedly. Mix up your layouts a bit. I've just dropped some pictures in here at random. I went through and I put one kind of focal picture that I really liked. Arranged it on the screen a bit. This one is centered, which seems overly silly. So I'll move it to the side so I can get some other pictures in there. Using my arrow keys on my keyboard. And then this one, I'm going to make larger. And you can see the pink highlight shows me that I'm aligned with the image above it. And then to the edge. So I'll leave that there, or I can make it bigger and fill up all the space. No need to leave white space. So I'll leave that there. Change your orientations. See, this is a gorgeous picture that my wife took, and those are the colors that her camera produced, or that my phone took. I don't remember. Anyway, I thought it was nice to have it that size. You get the sunset, you get the reflection on the water, you get the highlights, you get lens flares. J.J. Abrams. You get the reflection off of the sand and the water and blah, blah, blah. So that's half the size of the screen. I'm going to leave it like that. You can go and you can do mosaics with lots of smaller pictures. Let's take a look at May. I could stretch this guy out. What I'm doing here is I'm fighting with the edge and then the alignment with this picture. It's better to have the white on the exterior of the calendar versus in between pictures. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'm gonna stick this guy up here in the corner. That's a spider web. It's a tunnel spider. Now, this was a really fun guy, so I'm gonna stretch him out a bit. And I'll stretch this down. Hold please. Okay, since this is browser based, I just refreshed the browser after I saved the project, and the tools are now working. So I'm going to stretch this guy out. And this one's going to be problematic because of the size of the images. That's fine. A couple of things that pop up. You can move images back and forth. Oh, so this guy over here, I'm going to stretch him out a bit, make it a bit taller. Okay, so it's as tall as the one next to it. If I'm okay with that, I can leave it where it is. Or I can move it backwards, which will put it behind this image. Or I can move it forward so that it's now in front of the image. I can also go in and I can use the edit option and crop it and make it a little bit narrower. You can rotate them, and then you can swap. Let me do a swap picture. So let's use this spider web. And if I decide to swap, it says select another picture. So let me click on this one. And so it took one from your library and it just swapped it with the image that you already have in there. I'm going to leave that one there for now. In your library, these are the pictures that I've uploaded. You can see a check mark indicating that it's been used and an X. Actually, I'm not sure. I think you could delete it out of there. And if you can't see the picture, there's a magnifying glass in the top right corner. You can click on that, and it'll show you a bigger image of that. And then you just click off of it on the interface, and that will go away. All right, so that's importing the photos, dragging them out of your library just onto the months, kind of resizing, reshaping them a bit with crops, edits, arranging them. I can see that there's going to be a white space there. I'll have to come back and fix that. Now, the other thing is that you can come down to the months. I'm going to go to July, and I'm going to do bottom. And then for July 4th, I'm going to put an image in there. I'm not going to change well, it says I can add a photo. So I can drag one over. Let's see what looks kind of 4th of July-y. We'll drag this one over for now. And we can save. And so there's the picture. Let's see, can I? Oh, here's the edit option. So I want to crop this so that you can see it's a fishing bobber and a little, not a dragonfly, I forget what it's called, on top. And I waited and waited and waited and took pictures, picture, just to get this image of the reflection in the water. And when we're done editing, click save, and now you can see it on that date. So that's pretty cool. I like the swap. I like being able to put it on dates. Our calendar started as Christmas presents for family and friends, so we include birthdays and anniversaries and dates of significance and it's really a small family, like close-knit group of friends for other friends this year, I'm going to not include our birth dates because it's family. I mean, it's my mom, my dad, my brother, my nephew. I'm not going to include those dates on the calendars. I'm just going to do the federal holidays and put a picture on there, and that's what our friends are going to get. And this would be something that I might offer up through, I think I can do a reseller option, or I can make them available for, you to purchase, or for somebody to purchase as a gift, etc. So we can add pictures to the bottom, which are great. We can change the text. Let's do 4th of July. See what happens. So now it says Independence Day and it says 4th of July. Okay, I haven't done the text before. Then we can go back to the top. That was July, so I'll click on the top. Click on March. Here's the interface difference. Click on bottom. That is not what it did for July, just saying. And you can also do auto arrange. So let's go back to photos. You can choose layouts for like 3 or 4 photos. And if you're unsure, that's a nice option. I'm going to take lots of pictures of dragonflies. So I'm going to drop that over. Here's an anole and a mushroom. So I'll do top bottom on that, and then I'll do auto arrange. There you go. Easy peasy. So I can stretch that out. Stretch that, down. And you can stretch them out so that they overlap, and then you can bring a picture to the front to do some impromptu cropping of the image. The big thing I'm going for here is I don't want the white space between the pictures, so I'm going to move this guy to the back. There. And make this one a little bit bigger. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. I can go all the way out there. Let's do that. I'll move this into the front. And move this one out to the edge. This one out to the edge. Or past the edge. Look at that. And the little hand lets you move it around and inside the area that you have defined. So I might feel inclined to leave it like that. Move this guy down a little bit. That looks good. Hit save, print, good to go. So Snapfish calendars, this is what we do for family and friends. This is a fun exercise in creativity. We enjoy doing this. This started as a way to share our adventures literally with family. I mean, my folks and my in-laws, who did not go out and do these things. I really like this one. That's a drop of water falling off of an icicle from our ice storm. So for the family who either didn't, don't, or are unable to go out into the world and have these adventures, we chronicled our adventures to let them experience it by proxy. If that we like taking pictures of mushrooms, flowers, bugs. I've got a couple of things I like to, like a fiddlehead fern. I like to find a fiddlehead fern and a skeletal leaf. That's where it's been chewed out by an insect. There should be at least one of those in my calendar. And a good skeletal leaf. This is not the best, but it's a good example of one that we like to capture. I'm really big on macro photography, so I'll take lots of close-up pictures. This was kind of sort of macro, and it was freezing cold outside. I was taking it through the window. It's a little grainy, but it'll be fine. The big thing was I was standing here for over an hour taking pictures of water droplets falling off of the icicles, and that's what I wanted to capture, and that's what that little guy is right there. So, like I said, these are our adventures through the year to share with folks who may live vicariously through our adventures. It's fun. We enjoy doing it. Anyway, I hope this helps. Of all of the services that we found, the interfaces are pretty much the same. as far as adding pictures to the calendars and doing the editing for the calendars. They're all pretty much the same. The biggest difference is price. I used to wait for a Groupon to come through, and we'd buy the Groupon or multiple Groupons of the same thing, and then order 5, 10, 20, 25 of these calendars to give away. And what I found is Snapfish, this is not paid promotion, this is, we use them, I'm paying for these. Snapfish has had historically the best price, so we've just started coming back. The price before Christmas was $7 and change per. After Christmas, before New Year's, it was $9 and change. Right now they've got a sale going on because it was like 65% off, then it was 60% off, and whatever's going on right now, they're $8 and change. So get your act together, man, and you can plan on the prices. Look and see what hits your price point. I mean, it's a crapshoot if you wait for the absolute best price, because if you may miss a really good price. Set your threshold of pain, is what I refer to it as, for your magical price point, and then shop accordingly. You can add text, you can add borders. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this and seeing that my microphone is overlapping right there on the interface, and that just says borders and text and some other date options. I don't know. I don't use that stuff. I literally put pictures on there and shape them up, but you can play with that all you want to. Anyway, as I started to say earlier, I hope this helps either for those who are previewing the calendar for Christmas that has yet to ship, and or if you're interested in doing this on your own, and if you wanted to see how, doing this backwards, how Snapfish interface worked. So I hope it helps. Enjoy, and thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Too many hobbies, not enough time.
It's a theme song, y'all.